Day 1. Dear spouse, you've asked that I record my daily activities in the woods. You're afraid that I might be kidnapped, get lost, or worse. You promised not to read this diary, and only to use it should I not come home by sundown. I agree that the woods are dangerous, but I know how to stay safe. I love the woods, and the woods love me. Carved by the Garden. A solo TTRPG about surviving in the woods or becoming a part of the woods. This game is also on the Wretched and Alone system. You guys know how much I love that system. Today, I'm going to teach you how to play it, and we're actually going to do a little bit of an actual play of it together. I'm very excited, so let's break it down. Well, hi, hello everybody, my name is Turk. Welcome back to the Grouch Couch. Around here, we do all different kinds of weird TTRPG things, because today we're playing Carved by the Garden. Now, if you want to pick this up or anything else that we do happen to use in today's video, please remember that you can use our links down in the description below. By using links in the description, it does help support the show, so thank you so much for doing that. Also, huge shout out to Cassie Mothwin, that is the writer and developer of this here awesome zine. And not only have they developed this, but they also had developed another game called Tangled Blessings, and they were so kind enough to actually send me both copies of these for the purposes of making content with them. Big shout out to Cassie. I actually hope that once we get through both of these books, I actually want to get them on the channel to do a little bit of an interview, because they do actually have a YouTube channel of their own. So get them over here so we can talk about these awesome games and their process in making them. So keep an eye out for that. And thank you again, Cassie, for sending this over. Speaking of that, when I did get everything, it actually came, all this extra little stuff right here actually came in the book. We actually got a nice little thank you note from them. Thank you for taking a look, Cassie. We appreciate that. Thank you. Your support means everything. CassieMothwin.com. Super cool logo. Really into that. We also got an awesome bit of sticker sheets, and I gotta tell you, as soon as I got these, I wanted to put them on my sticker thing right here, where I've just been putting all my developer stickers, and I've just been waiting. I'm like, well, I gotta wait before I gotta do the video first. But they're very cool. Even my partner was like, oh, I'm gonna steal that. And I was like, no, you cannot steal it. These are my stickers. So thanks again, Cassie, for the extra goodies. We appreciate it. And these are also, I think, the schools. And I think I'm actually gonna save these stickers for my journal whenever I start playing Tangled Blessings, which will be happening in about a month or so on the channel. Tangled Blessings is very cool. I think it's kind of like a darker magical college kind of thing that uses tarot cards, and I'm really excited for it. That being said, that's all the YouTube jibber jabber out of the way, you guys. Thank you so much. Let's jump right in. Now, this is on the Wretched and Alone system. I played the Wretched before, and I loved the Wretched. It's about surviving in a spaceship, and it's such a cool system. I love it so much. So I was actually looking for games that also use the Wretched and Alone system. I think the creator of that system is actually developing some new stuff right now, too, that seems interesting. But when I seen this, I was like, I need to play this. This looks so cool. And so I'm just stoked that Cassie's cool. So to use this bad boy, you're going to need a standard deck of playing cards. Today, we're going to be using our Grouch Couch Orange Bicycles. You also need something to write with, something to write on, which is our journal. My solo journal here is on its last legs from all of the one-shots I've been playing in it. And I've been ripping out all the one-shots and tossing them away, but I think moving forward, I'm going to get a new journal, and I'm going to keep all the one-shots in my solo one-shot journal. Should be fun. Anyways, you also need a D6. You need a Jenga tower. There are alternatives in this game to using a Jenga tower. There are other ways to play it. But if you can, when you play a Wretched and Alone system, can get a Jenga tower, just get one, because it makes it so much better. And lastly, we're going to need a D8. This book also says that you can use D8 pieces of nature. So like leaves and twigs and stuff like that, which I just think is so dang fun. But today we're just going to use a D8. Let not my southern reader who associates the ideas of comfort with the term cottage mistake. This thing is built of shingle with low walls. Its thatch is hollow. The peat smoke curls stingingly from its stunted chimney. It is worthy of its savage surroundings. That's what you open up to here in this book. So I should also say that this game does kind of have like some horror elements to it, but I like to try to throw in horror into comedy as much as I can if I'm feeling it. But I have already, I'm going to say, read through this a little bit, and I don't know if we're going to go that direction today, so just kind of strap in. Right, so we have the Wretched is a trademark of Chris Bissett. That's who it is. The Wretched Alone system, very good. We love that system. And it says, if you enjoy this, please check out my other horror works, What Crooked Roots, which I'm not sure what that is. I'm gonna have to check that out. But we also have the Tangled Blessings, like I was talking about, a Magic Academy horror game that uses tarot cards. Now, this game was written with Take Me Back to Eden by Sleep Token on repeat. That's very cool. Very cool to hear. But it also says, I highly recommend playing Black Hill in Silent Island, the full album on repeat as background music for Carved by the Garden. So, if we can, let's get that going. All right, there we go. I'll get headphones in. It's probably gonna be different for y'all. Editing, don't worry about it. All right. There's also a theme song to this bad boy. boy, and I listened to it a little bit while I was reading through it, and she'll be coming around the mountain, but she'll be carving, and I think it's actually performed by Cassie doing some singing, so that's fun. You could check that out. There are horrors within these pages, and you are one of them. Now we have our big old safety warning right here. I usually try to keep things as lighthearted as possible, but you never know what's going to happen, so if you want to pause and read those, you absolutely can. Now we do have our tumbling tower alternatives, of course, but we're just going to be using the tumbling tower. The situation. This is our main story bit here. Those you live with are worried for you. Every day you wander into the woods, alone. When you return at dusk, a wild shadow lingers in your steps. Those you live with wish to stop, but their efforts have proved useless. You always find a way or reason to return to the woods. Those you live with offer a compromise. Journal each day about your experiences. Those you live with promise they won't read your journal unless there is a night you don't come home. They beg you to be honest in your journal, and you agree. But you wonder if they'll believe what they even read. So what have we found here? What is this? Carved by the Garden is a structured journaling game where you document your character's likely last days in the nearby woods. You love the woods, you fear the woods. You get the sense your unchaperoned visits to the woods are nearing an end. You must make the most of time you have left. During the game, you roll a die, draw cards from a deck, read their associated events, and pull blocks from a tumbling tower. Place or remove tokens from a card and write about your experiences in character. Let's actually get us a zoom going here. There we go. The woods are vast and mostly unmapped. Some landmarks exist in the minds of locals, but interestingly enough, no one can agree exactly where to find them. History and legends about the woods differ from person to person, religion to religion, and evidence to evidence. As soon as researchers feel like they've unlocked a path to the past, additional resources reveal their proposed truth to be inaccurate. This game is written with the idea that cell phones don't exist yet, but if you want a setting closer to present day, there isn't a signal in the woods. Many will agree, however, that there is something strange about these woods. This setting doesn't have a specific season, but the liminal space surrounding the autumnal equinox may prove inspiration. Heck yeah, sounds good to me. So now, who are we? You are human for now, and we might be playing a different way. We'll talk about it later. You reside at the back of a dead-end road in the middle of the woods. You share your home with people who care about you, but they're afraid of what you get up to in the woods. They know they can't control or stop you, but they don't want to lose you. You are a mud child, a wild woman, a dangerous man, or a creature of the branches. Answer these questions about your character. In addition to coming up with your name, pronouns, and time period, answer these questions before you start the game. And I've already read through this a little bit, of course. I try to do some pre-reading before I start playing. But this is a good time to pull out the old journal here. So we're going to be he, him. We're going to be a guy. We're going to be kind of a middle-aged man, if I am remembering right. There's also suggestions here. So I should say first, on this page, it asks you 5 questions. What draws you into the woods? Who do you live with? Why do they wish you'd stop? And what would you do if you didn't go into the woods? What do you fear in the woods? But if we come over here, alternative reasons for your character to visit the woods. And there are some fantastic suggestions in here, ranging from you're a hunter and forager who is journaling a catalog of animal dens and potential harvests before it's not. You make deliveries through the woods. You're a cartographer making a map. You're a scientist researching the area. You want to run away, so you're planning a path. Someone you know went missing and you're a part of the search, or you're a kid or a teen with too much time on their hands. And I'm paraphrasing here because these are pretty long. Now, I love the idea of I'm thinking this is kind of like the 90s. I imagine our character wearing like a red flannel, kind of like a lumberjack kind of guy. And at home is his partner, like his wife, his paramour. And he goes out into the woods to hunt and to forage to find things like berries and other kinds of stuff. And he's kind of druidic in nature. Like he grew up here, like he knows the woods, he loves the woods. So all the people who try to track the woods and go through the woods, like just get lost all the time. And he actually helps people get through the woods and stuff. He knows them, right? So he's big time a part of them. So we're actually going to be a hunter or forager. We live with our wife, and I think they want us to stop visiting the woods because they see something recently happened with us, and they see the woods starting to change us. Also, maybe she wants to start a family, and so she wants us to spend more time at home. But we're just in the woods all day, every day, adventuring, looking for things, finding, stuff for us to eat and live on. So she wants us to be home more. What would you do if you didn't go into the woods? I think obviously spend time with the wife, but I imagine this guy is kind of like a cook. So he's finding recipes and herbs and other kinds of stuff as a cook to bring home and then cook. So he'd probably be some kind of a chef. What do we fear? And maybe the dark. Feel the dark in the woods. We try to go during the day, but when it gets too dark, we get scared. And that's why we go home. That's pretty good. All right, so we have our character. Doesn't really have a name, but I don't really think that's relevant, weirdly enough. So how to play. We're going to set up our tower, and then we're going to get started. So tower setup time. Okay, tumbling block tower. Very good. All right, and then we're going to roll our die and pull the number of blocks you roll. This represents that your connection to the woods is already starting to sever. We're severing the connection to the wood. That is a 2. Let's pull 2 blocks. So 1 right from there. Hope the camera angles are cool with you guys. We'll pull 1 from there. All right, the game is divided into days. You walk into the woods each day, has two phases, the events and the journal. This is, if you've ever played Wretched and Alone, it kind of follows that pattern. So you pull cards and figure out the scene, and then you journal out the day. So you roll your 6-sided dice, you use the result, and you draw that number of cards from the deck, place them face down without looking at them. You flip over the first card, find its prompt in the table section, complete any task the card tells you to do, and then you continue flipping over cards until you have flipped them all over. Discard all the cards unless instructed otherwise. All right, then we have step 2, which is the journal. You return home before dusk every day and record your experiences in a journal. Write about what happened and what you feel, answering the questions presented in the card prompts. You don't have to answer the questions if they don't feel relevant, and the events don't have to happen in the order you draw the cards. If you like, you can use an alternative to a journal, such as voice or video recording, narrating out loud, or simply imagining the scenario in your head. Shuffle the deck of cards and place it within reach. Record your first journal entry using the following script, or by writing your own similar entry. Think about who is asking you to record this journal. They claim it's for your own safety. Do you even believe it? Then we start the game with day 2. All other journal entries should begin with day number, keeping a recording of the game's progression. Losing your connection to the woods is the most likely outcome of this game. If the tumbling tower falls before the woods adopt you, return to the abandoned section on page 30. But here's where it gets interesting. And also this day 1 thing is what I read in the intro, so you guys know. There we are. The deck of cards is divided into 4 categories. Consult the tables each time you flip a card to determine what you've done and what you'll do next. Some cards have you pull from the tower, place tokens on a card, or shuffle a card back into the deck. Now, instead of using pieces of nature, we're going to use a D8, like I said. Everything you encounter is real. The shadows, the creatures, the inexplicable. The game takes place during the day, with you returning home each night. But the bright light and shifting branches make it easy for horrors to blend in with the wilderness. You can only assume it becomes so much worse at night. Don't miss your curfew. If at any time you feel like your character has seen enough and has been swayed to stay away from the woods, turn to Severed Ties section on page 35. So you can just end early. There are 2 endings available to you at the start of the game, and you unlock more paths as you play. The tower falls, you get abandoned, or your character decides to stay out of the woods, Severed Tide. Stop, dim the lights, set the soundtrack, and walk into the woods. Do not read any further until you're ready to play. And this art piece is so cool. We were actually, full disclosure, we were at the ER for my partner, and I was reading through this book, just to get a jump on it. Extra time, right? And I pulled over to this page and I was like, this is so cool. Like, this art piece right here is just sick. And I showed it to her. I was like, look at how cool. All right, the Jokers. The woods have a mind of their own. Oh, so we got to put the Joker back. There we go. The Jokers. When you first draw a Joker, discard it and reshuffle it. Gotcha. When you draw the second Joker, you've lost. Whoa, interesting. Okay, there was a, oops, almost bumped the Jenga thing. There was another way to play here where did I miss it somehow? There's a way to play a faster game, and I believe it starts with you pulling the Ace of Hearts first. And then you roll your dice and do this. Just let me double check. I'm also worried I'm not talking into my mic because the Jenga tower is right there. And so I keep going in front of it. Sorry about that if that happens. Ah, there it is. The pieces of nature tokens are only used if you draw the Ace of Hearts. If you prefer a shorter game, start with the Ace of Hearts on the top of the deck. And not only do I prefer a shorter game, the Ace of Hearts kind of starts the part of this game that I find the most intriguing. So we're actually going to start with that. And it says to start with it on the top of the deck. So we'll do that. And I'll explain a little bit more after. It already almost was. That's crazy. Okay, so we're going to pretend like we're going to pull the Ace of Spades. Well, let's do the full turn. And we'll talk a little, 1, okay. It's kind of an important one to do though anyway. Okay, so we got our 1 card, which is gonna be the Ace of Spades. Or the Ace of Hearts, sorry. So we're gonna start our story. After day 1, we write a journal entry for our lover saying we're gonna write the journal. Day 2 begins with the Ace of Hearts. The woods leave their mark on you. What does that mean, I wonder? How does it manifest? See page 39. Do you feel the beginnings of antlers? Skin as tough as bark. Venom along your lips. Claws on your fingertip. A craving for blood. Do not discard this card. Put it to the side. At the end of each day, after writing in your journal, roll a 6-sided die. On the result of 4 or higher, add a piece of nature token to the card. Each piece of nature represents a new mark the woods leave on and describe how it manifests. And we're starting with a 1. We get 1 mark of nature. And there is actually, if you can't think of any like antlers or cool stuff or anything else like that, we actually have here in the back a roll chart for it. So we have head, torso, hands, or feet. What delicious yet dangerous things did they promise you? If you draw the Ace of Hearts in the woods, the woods might start to leave their mark on you. You may use these optional tables to help you decide what blessing the woods bestow. Roll a 6-sided die when you need inspiration. So we're gonna roll a 6, and then we'll just pick the one that makes the most sense for us on here. 5. Fangs. See, fangs can be hidden from our partner. Wrote it down. Day 2. Fang. All right, now also, when you've collected all 8 pieces of nature, make the final pull from the tower. If the tower stands, your bond to the woods is solid and fixed. You can never leave. Turn to the carved one ending on page 36. If the tower falls, your connection is strong, but not strong enough. Turn to the rejected ending on page 36. Whoa, that's crazy. All right, so that ends our first day. I've got fangs written down here. We'll say, day 2. The forest has left its mark on me. I don't know how or why, but my teeth have started to sharpen. My teeth are sharp. I will no longer smile around you to hide it. Okay, kind of an anticlimactic there start. Well, I guess a big start, but I don't want to put too many details on day 2. I think things are going to expand as we go. So moving on, we're going to roll our dice. 6 cards for day 2. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The King of Clubs. A tornado touched down near you, tearing a trail of destruction in its wake. You sought shelter deep in a ditch, and it kept you safe. When you felt safe enough to leave, you felt aches and pains throughout your body. You could only walk with the assistance of a stick. What was the tornado trying to destroy? Why do you think you're in so much pain? Keep this card in front of you. Pull from the tower. If this is your 4th king, etc. But it's not, so I don't want to spoil it. Pull 1 from the tower. Imagine it falls already. Nope, there's a good one right there. Ooh, that was close. Okay. Next card. That's another king. What? What? That's not good news. That's not good news at all. As the King of Clubs, something happened and you can't go back home. Either those you live with have kicked you out or worse. You know it isn't safe to stay in the woods at night. Where do you take shelter? What happened to where you live? Keep this card in front of you and pull from the tower. Do you mean like just tonight or forever? Because that's not good. Ooh, there's 2 good ones right here. This one. Okay. Maybe she's seen our fangs. I don't know. The Queen of Diamonds. I really like this font right here. And these images on these pages is so cool. Ah, it's so cool. The hearts, so cool. All right, the Heart of Diamonds. Queen of Diamonds. The stranger surprised you, emerging from the trees and surrounding you within seconds. A man claimed he brought you a gift and told you to hold out your hands and close your eyes. When you opened your eyes, the people were gone and a sputtering, still beating heart thrummed in your hand. Who were the people? Why are you tempted to take a bite of the heart? If you discard the heart, pull 2 blocks from the tower. If you honor the heart in the same way, keep this card. The next time you're told to pull from the tower, discard this card instead. Do we take a bite out of the heart? So we have the fangs, but I feel like we're trying to not turn into a monster. We know that we are, but we want to be able to go home. Like we still love our wife, right? So we're going to discard this card and we're going to pull the 2 blocks. There's a good one here. And there's a good one here. That's a scary one to pull though. All right. Okay, I wrote it down. Next card, the 10 of Diamonds. As you pulled your foot from the thick mud, you revealed a human face. Each step you took revealed another face featuring large, toothy grins and wide eyes. It did not speak, but as you struggled to move through the mud, the faces laughed. Did you recognize any of the faces? Who have you stepped on to get what you want? Pull from the tower. There's one right there just waiting. Okay. It's a lot for one day. This is a lot for one day. Day 2 going crazy. We'll summarize it in a minute. All right, not the clubs, but the spades. 8 of Spades. Long and large shadows converged on your path, and a sharp sound told as a creature with multiple deer heads and a tangle of antlers stepped from the darkness. The figure's mouths formed shapes, but you couldn't hear what it said over the constant and distant ringing sound. The creature vanished as quickly as it came. What omens are you missing? How do you try to make sense of these visions? Jeez. It's like this guy was just going in the woods, and then one day he noticed that he started to grow fangs. And since that day, he went back the next day maybe to get answers, and everything is just insane. Like nothing makes sense. This is like the beginning of the movie where everything is just like a mystery and you're trying to piece it all together. All right, 4 clubs. There was a tickle in your throat and a burning sensation in your chest. A thick, wet cough overtook you, and you expelled several dozen centipedes mixed with your blood. Why do you think a part of you constantly aches? How will you heal your insides? Pull from the tower. That's wild. Getting pretty tall. Okay, let's recap. I've got my notes here. Day 3. My love, you found and seen my fangs as we slept. In the morning, you kicked me out of the house. I don't think out of hatred, but I think out of fear as to what I've become. I wandered into the woods in search for answers. The further I got, I noticed a tornado was emerging from the sky. And as it came down, I took shelter in a cave. But as I lay there, my bones ached. As I got up, I almost couldn't walk. I used a nearby stick as a walking stick, but as I look at my feet, I realize my footsteps in the mud, they're turning into faces, other people. I see our family members, those we left behind when we moved here to the forest. I don't know what these images are, but just when I couldn't think I took another step, people approached, and as I asked them for help, they told me to close my eyes. And when I reopened them, they were all gone, and all that remained was an actual beating heart, blood dripping through my hands. As much as I wanted to take a bite of it, as if it might help fix me and get me moving again, I couldn't bring myself to do it. So I buried the heart and moved on. I fear this was a mistake, and the forest was mad at me. For later this night, I coughed so hard, my love, I coughed. And not only did I cough up blood, but I swear there were centipedes that came in the blood that I'm not sure. Before I fell asleep that night, I looked to the sky, and in the distance I noticed a deer, many an antler, and way too many heads, walking on 2 legs. How long has it been watching me? End of day. Pretty good, pretty good. Now we gotta roll, and if we get a 4 or higher, we mutate again. That's a 3, so we're looking good. Okay. All right, next day. How many cards? There's no way we're gonna do 6 cards again. Bro, there's no way. All right. There's 6. First one, 3 of clubs. We climbed in a tree, and soon after, several wolves circled below. When we didn't climb down, a few of the wolves left and returned later, dragging a human body. You were forced to listen to a loud and violent feast. Before leaving, the animals looked at you with bloody maws and said in unison, "You are but prey to the cycle." Who did the wolves eat? How can you break free of the cycle? Pull from the tower. Is it someone we know? All right, pull from the tower. Can we? I don't know. Oh, yes we can. There it is. There we go. Here we are. 5 of clubs. The spades, sorry. Stacked in the middle of a dried up pond, you spotted dozens, if not hundreds, of sun-bleached turtle shells. You could tell the shells had been stacked around something. After closer investigation revealed a huge, hatched egg covered in blood that emitted a putrid smell. What creature could have made this? Who have you failed to protect? Pull from the tower. Interesting. Oh, there's one right on the bottom. That'll do. Okay, moving on. Oh, I'll keep doing that. Here we go. Moving on. 6 of hearts. A heart, finally. It's been a while. Actually, I don't think it has. I don't know what I'm saying. You are drawn to a peculiar plant you've only found in these woods. You've tried to research it, but you never find anything about it. If you try to bring it from the woods, it dies right away. What is the plant? Why is the plant significant to you? Why do you fear for its safety? Very good. Now we have 3 of hearts as well. Careful what you seek to unravel, said an old woman, stacking small round stones as you passed her. She did not stop her task to look at you. Is she building a monument, a shelter, a gravestone? What do you make of her warning? Yeesh. All right, now the 8 of hearts. Okay, we're getting all the hearts now. There are many abandoned tools in the woods, and today you found an axe stuck in a tree stump covered in sap. When you pulled out the axe, it pulsed softly in your hands. What is the axe hungry for? If you feed it, what does it give you as a reward? Pull from the tower. Yeah, no, I mean, like, a lot of these prompts are honestly pretty wild. I gotta give it to Cassie for writing these, because, yeah, they're pretty good. I don't trust that one. Can we start pulling from here now? Yes, we can. I think moving the microphone so I can pull this out. Here we go. Very good. All right. 4 of diamonds. You sometimes wear a mask made of tree bark. It slips on comfortably and protects you from stray branches and insects, but today, the mask tugged you through the wilderness as if pulling at your flesh. Where did the mask lead you? How much skin does it pull off when you remove it? You may peek at the next 5 cards in the deck and rearrange them in whatever order you think favorable. I don't really know enough of the cards for it to even be something for me to do, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think if the second time around you play this, could be good, but for that, not at all. Okay, before I write my journal entry, I want to roll to see if we get another mutation as well. That is a 1. Wow, we don't. Okay. And here's also my question. Do we think that our wife is going to let us go home? Or are we sleeping in the woods at this point? I mean, if all this is happening every day, maybe we're sleeping in the woods. Okay. Day 4. My love, I'm too afraid to return home. The words that you said to me the last time I seen you still echo in my mind. So I've decided to stay here in the woods. This morning I awoke to a bunch of wolves waiting for me to get down from the tree. Thankfully I slept in the tree last night. But before I could leave, they returned with a person, a body that looked familiar. A female body, but I couldn't make out exactly what it was. Who it was, the wolves have already done too much damage. Getting down, I started to look for breakfast. I found that beautiful plant that tastes so sweet, the one that tastes of sugar, the one I tried to bring home to you, but before I could get it home, it would die. I know you don't believe me, but the plant exists. I found all that I could ever want, and that's what I've been surviving on. Eating of the forest. I also found protection today, an axe lodged into a tree. It feels as if the axe was calling to me, because when I pulled it from the tree, I nearby seen an old lady. She was stacking stones for some strange reason, and the axe wanted me to kill her. It begged. I don't think I killed her. It's honestly hard to remember. The pieces of the forest that I now wear to keep me warm pull me deeper and deeper into the forest. I wonder where they're taking me. Either way, if anything happens to me, I hope that you find my journal. Okay, that was the end of day 4. Time for day 5. Oh, let me switch cameras. All right, time for day 5. Is this rigged? Is this dice rigged? Every time I want to get a 6, I don't. Oh, this is still at a 1. Could be rigged, that's all I'm saying. I think we're going to pull every card from this deck before we, completely mutate. All right, we got 6 cards. 3 of diamonds. As we walk through Forgotten Ruins, a story depicting a fox human eating from a deer human decorated the wall. The story led you to an altar surrounded by lit candles. "Kneel," came a woman's voice, worn with gravel, "and let me taste your skin." When you turned around, there was no one there. Do you relate more to the fox or to the deer? What part do you feel is missing? Pull from the tower. Okay, this tower here is getting pretty tall. Can we pull right from there? Yeah, we can. Sweet. All right, next card. 9 of diamonds. You've been having nightmares depicting your loved ones dangling from burning trees. As you walked, you heard buzzing and discovered several large hornets' nests in the shape of bodies above you. The hornets fixated on you, hovering in place. Why does part of you think your loved ones deserve to burn? What do the hornets see that your others can't? Keep this card. The next time you're told to pull from the tower, discard this instead. Okay. 7 of clubs. You pass through an abandoned orchard where fruit trees grow in perfect rows. The tree bark oozes black sap, and rotting fruit often falls in grotesque, wet thuds. Are the trees sick or adapting? Who planted these trees? Oh, pull from the tower. Cool, so now we get to discard the 9. We don't have to pull from the tower. Yay. I'll keep us alive. Jack of clubs. You found a charred body hanging in a tree, and when the wind blew, black flakes fell toward you like snow. The person bore witness. "Will you be next?" said a voice in the trees. You never found the source. When you wiped your face, your hands came back with gray residue. What secret weighs on you? Next. 4 of spades. You walked up on a group of women sitting in a circle, embroidering a round tapestry shared amongst them. They ushered you over to admire their work. One woman said, "The thread of life is always measured before it's cut." Then she pointed to a section of the tapestry. What brief glimpse into the future does the tapestry give you? Do you wish you could change it? Look at the next card in the deck and read the first sentence or 2 corresponding prompt. Once finished, put the card back at the top of the deck. I like what you could see. We could see the future. The Ace of Diamonds. We're starting to understand what's so seductive about the woods. There is magic here, and the cost is human blood and suffering. How do you discover this? Okay. All right. Next card. Oh, first. 5 of clubs. We heard a harmonic gospel echoing through the trees. When we followed the sound, we discovered a small pond with several muddy white robes floating on the surface. There were no signs of anyone else around. What do we make of the lyrics of the song and "Why have you proselytized recently? Pull from the tower"? There's just like a bunch of bad omens happening here. Strange stuff, weird stuff, crazy stuff. No way that one comes out. Wow. There it is. Okay, that ends day 5. Before we put together our journal entry, let's see if we mutate. 4 and above. That's a 2. What the heck? This is crazy. Okay. Day 5, my love. I've been having nightmares. Today I was awoken by hornets attacking my face. For some reason, it made me think about how mad I was at you because without even trying to understand my condition, you just shooed me away. Thinking about how mad I was, I began walking. I walked through a dead orchard. Trees just sick, dropping dead fruit. On one of these trees, a person hung there, completely blackened in ash. A voice said to me if I would be next or not. Thinking about death made me think about my secrets. And I think my true secret is this. I always wanted to spend more time in the forest and was mad at you for you not allowing me to. But in reality, I just wanted to spend more time with you. And now that I can't, I wish to be home. I also saw a glimpse of the future today. I can't explain how it happened. Just know there were a lot of women and they were making a blanket. But the future I saw was of me, now a part of this forest. The night ended with me stumbling into an altar. I'm hearing more and more voices. I do not think me to be a fox in this place, but a deer, for I feel I am being hunted. I think that's it. It's crazy. It's fun to just think and put all these things together, and it's like wandering through this crazy forest. These prompts just have like such cool scene ideas, such cool descriptors. All right, well, day 6. 3 cards today. Here we go. And I know one of these is the magical one because we've seen it already, but we'll go this way. 4 of hearts. A disheveled-looking couple begged you to witness their wedding ceremony, and you agreed before the traditional kiss. They removed their clothes and told you not to look away. One of them handed you a full canteen, instructing you pour the contents over their bodies. They kneeled before you. What was in the canteen? Well, blood, obviously. Obviously. All right, next card. Ace of Diamonds. So that means we got 2 aces on this one. Oh, this is the ace. Okay, you're starting to understand what's so seductive about the woods. There is magic here, and the cost is human blood and suffering. How do you discover this? Do you deliver a payment? If yes, describe the act, and if you've already drawn the King of Diamonds, shuffle it back into the deck. We haven't. Then discard this. Gotcha. Interesting. Last one. Ace of Spades. You found the ruins of an abandoned house. It was filled with dust, cobwebs, rotting furniture, and waterlogged books. You were surprised to find a small flame in the hearth of this fireplace, with fragments from your journal used as kindle. Why is this crumbling building better than your current home? What pages from your journal had been burned? How do you think the pages got here? Decide which of your journal entries you find burned and cross them out in your journal. If you have the Ace of Hearts, add 2 pieces of nature to it. That means we get 2 mutations? Okay, let's roll on our mutations. 4 fur and 5 hooves. And then we roll to see if it happens again, because that's the end of the day, right? That's a 1. And how about this? Day 6, you. Today I witnessed a blood wedding. I was so honorably given the canteen to pour the blood over the bodies. You see, the forest wants blood. It needs it. It's what it uses to survive. I found a new home here. It is ruined, but it is a home in the forest. I no longer need to walk to reach the edge of the forest, for I wake up already inside of it. In a home. Sorry if some of my journal entries are missing. I've decided to start burning the ones that said anything nice about you. But just know, the forest has taken more of me. I am no longer cold, for I have fur. It is no longer hard to walk in mud because I have hooves. Oh, yeah, that'll be the end of day 6. Moving on to day 7. Crazy. 3 more cards. All right, first one, 9 of hearts. Did you guys think that's the way I was going to take that? You know, just thinking, oh, I didn't switch back cameras. Just thinking, you know, hey, logically, it's the only thing that makes sense. To combat invasive plants and large insect populations, the woods undergo controlled burns as needed. You didn't know one was scheduled for today, and the fire nearly caught you, chasing you into a deep creek. The sounds of screaming surrounded you. Why is the scent of your burnt flesh recognizable? What omens did you see in the smoke? Oh, pull from the tower. I almost missed that. That's too high. Is there still one down here someplace? Oh, those are solid, dude. Oh, there's one. Right there. King of Diamonds. Oh, another king. How many kings have we pulled? It's an important thing to know. I'm gonna have to look back through the stack real quick. There we go. This is everything we pulled so far. Let's see. That is she here. 2. So this is the 3rd one. King of Diamonds. It's become easier to navigate the mud, twigs, and debris without shoes, but your calluses, well, we have hooves now, so transform into thick pads with stringy skin. The strings are painful to cut and make it difficult to wear socks or shoes. Why do you find it harder to leave the woods? How do you feel about this abnormality? Keep this card in front of you. Pull from the tower. Ooh, whole dang thing twisted. Ooh, there's one. All the pullable ones are now out of this camera view down here. None of those are pullable. 9 of hearts. The hunters surprised you when they emerged silently from the trees, wet bodies of slain animals at their waists. They berated you for being in the woods, stress and frustration evident in their voices. What weapons did they carry? Why do they see you as a threat? Okay, that's our 3rd card for day 7. We're still hanging in there. Do we morph? 5, yes we do. I don't know why I'm excited about that, but I am. Let's go back to head. 6, forked tongue. There we go. Okay. Day 7. I don't remember who I'm writing this to, but I want you to know that the outsiders were burning the edges of the forest today, and it hurt. It hurt every part of my being. My feet had begun to harden and grow, my hooves larger, making it easier to move through the mud, which is good, because not only did they burn the forest, but hunters were walking through the forest. It took every bit of my being to not attack them and use their blood to sacrifice it into the forest. It was hard, but I did it. Something was telling me not to harm the innocent, for they not know what they were doing. So I ran. My tongue is split in 2, making it harder for me to eat of the old food. But for some reason, the sweet plants that I love, for some reason, soothe the pain. That's that. All right, moving on. There we go. This is a long little actual play, but I like this theme here. 2 cards we're pulling. 1, 2. All right, first one. 6 of spades. It's crazy because I keep feeling like we're pulling cards we've already pulled, but there's just been so many pulls that I don't know. As we walked along a ravine, we heard shouts for help from below. It looked like someone was stuck under a fallen tree. When we went down, we found a large rotten log and a cracked skull covered in moss. Why does this seem familiar? Are we more likely to be an assailant or a victim? Interesting. Second card. Jack of Diamond. Or are we pulling from the... Nope. Okay. Jack of Diamonds. From one of the few scenic cliffs, you saw large trees move in the distance, as if they stood up and decided to root elsewhere. Their roots ripped from the ground and their branches cracked in a horribly loud cacophony. Why do you feel like you're being watched? Are the trees trying to show you something or keep you from discovering more? Search your deck for a joker and move the first one you find to the top. It's so funny because like I'm reading these and I keep thinking about like our first day in the forest and how we would have thought about the trees moving. But our 8th day in the forest, it's kind of like, All right, joker's on the top. I forgot why I'm writing this, but today I thought I heard screams. Later only to find a skull covered in moss. Did time just pass by that slowly when I was walking down the cliff? Or was I reliving a memory? Did I know someone who fell down there? Did you fall down there? Whoever you are? To reflect on this, I went to the highest cliff that I knew. And of course the trees were trying to guide me, but today I couldn't understand them. They were trying to show me something, but I feel like I should know what it is, but I don't. Oh, and I forgot. Do we mutate again? No, we don't. Good. Okay. Time for another day. We're in the thick of it now, folks. Oop, fell in the box. 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Joker. Oh yeah, all right, because we moved it to the front. Here we go. The Jokers. The woods have the mind of their own. The woods are unmappable, not because of the difficult terrain, but because the items within shift of their own accord. The Jokers represent this. When you first draw a Joker, discard it and reshuffle the deck you've been drawing from. Respond to this prompt. For a moment, you lost your way, but something within the darkness pulled you through the woods. Were you being summoned or were you being chased? What marker helps you figure out where you are? Interesting. All right, so the first time we draw it, we put it back and reshuffle. Oh man. Okay. Put that to the side. 5 of hearts. You've been warned not to go into the caves, no matter how tempting a shortcut home might be. When you passed by one today, you heard a voice you recognized calling out. What temptation did the voice promise with its invitation? How did you resist? Pull from the top. Can we? It's like I breathe on it and it's wiggling. Oh, these ones up here are so loose. It's okay. Do that. Oh, there is one. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, moving on. 9 of clubs. You tripped, your hands catching in the mud and sinking deep. Grime splattered across your clothes and face as you freed yourself. When you rinsed your arms, you realized a black stain from the mud remained no matter how hard you scrubbed. What shape did the black stain take? Interesting. Okay, do we mutate again? 6. Yes, we do. So maybe it wasn't a black stain that mutated us. Maybe it was whatever this is. Since it said arms, let's go with our hands or feet. 4. Elongated bone. Okay. Put it together. Hello again. Today, the woods summoned me as they always do. I only knew where I was going because I went back by that very first campsite that I ever made here. Was it a campsite? Did I make that campsite? Returning from my summons, I passed by the caves that they always tell me never to go in. I don't know why, but I heard a voice. It was a female voice. Was it your voice? I don't remember what you sound like. I don't even know if you are you, but I do know that it was so distracting I tripped and fell right in the mud in front of the cave. And when I emerged from the mud, my arms and legs were at least a foot longer. Why? Did the forest want me to be taller? Either way, I am. That's that. Day 10. Can you believe it? Wow. Did I move this up? I don't think I did. We're at 5 now because we have fangs, hooves, fur, tongue. Yeah, elongated arms. We're at 5. Okay, that's a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 of hearts. There's either a king or a joker in there because there ain't very many cards left, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Rumors suggest the woods are sick, like something eats at the roots. Large sections of the forest are plagued with sickly black leaves. Some say it's the result of locals forgetting the old ways. What evidence do you find to support this theory? Do you attempt to make up for what's been forgotten? And we have the Queen of Clubs. Oh, let me write that down. You found a giant tree without leaves. Its massive roots spread out above the ground, hollowing the trunk aloft so it towered above you. The inside of the trunk was large enough to hold a bear, and a black scar marked the inside. Scarred symbols were carved in the exposed root. Where have you seen these symbols before? Was this tree a coffin or a womb? I don't know. Oh, there's the Joker. What did it say? Joker time. When you draw the second Joker, you're lost. Turn to the lost one ending on page 35. Should we finish our thing though? We have 3 cards left. 2 ace and 9. Maybe we should actually end here because if any of you guys want to pick up this book, you could have your own ending and still have some surprises from some of the prompts, right? So we'll go on ahead and we will end it here. So let's turn to page 35. Can't believe we got the lost one. It's crazy. There is 6 endings, 7 endings, something like that. Vocabulary, Tower Falls, 4 Kings, 2 Jokers, Ace of Hearts, Tower Falls, and Ace of Hearts, Tower Stands. Which we almost did Tower Stands, but we got the 2 Jokers instead. If you have the Ace of Hearts and have collected at least 4 nature tokens, you feel a strong connection to the woods. If you have the courage, you may find your way out and continue the game. Are you able? If so, discard the Jokers and continue playing. If you're too weak to go on, or if you don't have at least 4 nature tokens, then continue reading. Carved one. I really want to do the carved one ending. And since we're at this point anyway, we're 1 away from this and our tower still stands. We're going to do the carved one ending just because that's fun for me and that's what I want to do. So I'm not going to read the lost one. You guys can do that if you want to, but here we go. It's you, the one the gods have yearned for. You are a treasured believer of the old god's magic. You stay in the woods until night falls, when finally ancient darkness envelops you. Formless entities whisper in your ears. Remove your clothes. Thank you for your servitude. But there are no acolytes here. You are ripe in your soul, nutritious. with a weird dash here. A treat to be swallowed by the old gods. Your devotion has made you more monster than human, but you couldn't be happier. The civilized world was no place for you. You look upon the gods before they harvest and eat you. What do you see when they finally take shape at your feet? Why is it horrible, yet beautiful? My imagination, just like giant tree forests, like spirits. And it's horrifying because they ripped me open, but it's beautiful because my blood, like we said, the forest needs blood in the back. My blood now heals the forest, because a couple cards we just drew were that the forest is sick and there was a big old dead tree with symbols on it. So that's what I'm assuming. And our blood then heals the forest. They formed us and then sacrificed them. And that's the ending. And the forest returns to its beautiful natural state. Oh, I don't know why I keep doing that. Oh, I did that like 4 times this whole recording. That's crazy. Look, our tower still stands. Hey, for fun, shall we knock her over for fun? I think we shall. Timber goes tree. Yeah, I love you. All right, everybody, that was Carved by the Woods. All right, very cool. Very, very cool book. Carved by the Garden, sorry. Very cool book. I like this a lot. Big shout out to Kathy Mothwin for making this bad boy. Honestly, super cool. If you want to get yourself, link in description. If you do play it yourself, let me know what ending you get. All right, let me know in the comments, or join the Discord to hang out with the rest of us and have some fun and talk solo TTRPGs, because that's the best place to do it. And there's no paywall to join the Discord, so you could just join. Heck yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. Really, truthfully. For now, take a seat on the couch, for at least for a little while, or until you turn into a god of the woods yourself. Roll on that, weirdos, and I'll see you next time. Toodaloo. Yeah. Nice.
Just like, share, and subscribe. Just like, share.